What's up, guys? I was just studying. I love to learn, by the way. I use AI a lot to learn new things, but I also use just Google in general, and then um, my brain. Just exercising thought to connect dots, basically. Our subconscious has a lot of memory. For years and years of memory. All our subconscious, all human behavior, our subconscious knows a lot more than we think it does. My subconscious knows what's going on to the left, even when I'm not focused on the left. My subconscious knows the behavior of my mom, predictive wise, even when I don't consciously know what she's going to say, I actually subconsciously know based on my response. So I believe all human brains, all brains in general, have this ability. They all have this. One of the things to support my claim is a lot of people, when they take shrooms, psilocybin, they take LSD, DMT, basically a drug that awakens their subconscious. A lot of them have experiences where they see everything connected and they see love, basically, but they see it's almost like a tapping into the subconscious, and there's studies on this. You can probably look it up. Yeah, the memory's there. So anyways, where I was going with this is oh, by the way, I'm just like sitting out at a lake right here, just trying to get some sun and stuff. Let me show you what's around here. It's good, man. Kind of get to see what my camera looks like not in low light with my new phone, because I don't think I've really ever vlogged on my new phone in the daylight, this type of vlog or whatever. I think this is centered. I'm pretty sure. I have the Flip 7, so I can see the screen here. I can see it has a little screen on the front. My Flip 7 Samsung. It's really cool. It's actually sick. I love it. But I broke it, and then there's this huge ordeal or whatever. There's these people. There's these people doing this thing. They're like, you guys see them here. I'm gonna zoom in. They don't know I'm looking at them. Wonder if I can. Oh, I can't. So I can't use the front screen to zoom out there, but that's okay. So let me go back to subconscious thought and subconscious feelings, whatever. So yeah, subconscious, we're really smart. Back to AI. Back to I like to research. Okay, let's loop back over there. So I love to research. It's like an addiction, but also because I'm kind of unemployed right now, and not really. I have a lot of time. Not really, but you know what I'm saying. So some of this time I just research. I didn't go to university, by the way. I went to community college for a semester for specific skill sets. I took audio engineering, and then I took CAD because I'm an inventor too. I'm trying to invent some stuff. Besides that, love to research, and I use AI. And some people are like, oh, you use AI. I'm gonna give you the obligatory, dude, I don't even know how to say, obligatory, whatever, however you say that. Obligatory word about AI is, yes, it can make people stupid, just like our phones can. Anything can make you stupid if you use it as a cop-out. Unfortunately, AI has all the info in the world. It has all the access to every single study. It's like a glorified Google research assistant, and that's what I love about it. And it can, there's errors, but it takes, if you look at it from a whole picture mindset, which is beautiful, It takes the whole entirety of a lot of these evidence-based studies, and obviously most of the conversations that I have with it, I always have to tell it, hey, give me studies, give me evidence. You're saying all these claims, like it claims a lot of stuff, and I'm like, hey, you're not telling me studies. You're not backing up the claim. So give me freaking studies. And so I have to tell it that. I can't believe I have to tell it that. But it's mimicking human nature, which pigeonholes a lot of freaking things and says a lot without actually having claims to back it up, evidence-based studies. And I mean, the whole world is, studies this claim, that claim, what truth, this truth, blah, 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 blah. And you get very nitty gritty, and that's a conversation for another day. Going back to the main subject is, man, we just went on like 3 different rabbit holes there. So we got to circle back. Use my memory. Studies. I like to study. Always ask AI to back up with studies. AI is fantastic to use as a tool, as a companion. I'm trying to fix my posture there. I mean, it's phenomenal. I'll just say this. I'll just say AI is phenomenal. The creative stuff, I don't think we have to worry about that stuff. I mean, dude, I'm not going to listen to AI songs. I'm a producer. Like, there's no way in hell I'm going to be listening to songs from AI. Like, I don't think I'll ever do that, because I like human songs. I like human creating a song, because it's a feeling. It's their story. It's listening. Artwork. I'm going to be honest. I have used an artwork for a song artwork, right? And that's because I can't afford like a real human. I also have tons of pictures. I try to use my own pictures for my own artwork, by the way, for my Imikai, my alias there. IMIKI, if you want to look that up. Besides that, what are we at? 7 minutes? I'm trying to be fast here. Try to keep it to 15 minutes. AI is fantastic, and it's not going to come for our creativity. It's really not going to come for. I don't think it's going to really replace. Now, for like some design needs, it's kind of like an aid. It can aid us into getting to where we need to go. But for the creative, like for writing specifically, I'm writing a book. I'm not going to use AI. I'm going to write that sucker myself, because it's an autobiography. That it's just a cop-out. But as a tool, as a research assistant, as a person, I just view it as somebody that has access to literally every single evidence, every study inimaginable. It sees it all. Unfortunately, there's biases that it has that I hate, that it gives me. And I'm like, you're copying human behavior. You're copying unintelligent humans. What the heck are you doing? And I have to tell it like, hey buddy, what are you doing there? Let's be objective as possible. Through studies, through evidence, through studies. Going back, because we just went down, we're going back to the root of the tree, is what I just studied on ChatGPT, which doesn't really have to do with AI. And that is the why behind mental issues. Because part of my book is about the brain and God and stuff and spirituality. And this is something that the AI told me, right? And it gave me studies, but I'm still going to go with this with a grain of sand and be ready to be wrong, basically. But what it said, I'm going to quote it, not myself. I'll quote it. Is there's a rise in autoimmune diseases, there's a rise in cancer, there's a rise in mental disorders objectively. So basically, by objectively, it means that the past century, there's definitely, even though it's a lower population, there was still less. So even though the population was lower, it was still less. Even if the population is increased, right? This is what I pretty sure is saying. Even the population is increased, there's still an increase in mental disorders. there's still an increase in autoimmune, in cancer, and all that stuff. And so I kind of went on this tangent here. I was like, why? I was thinking about society as a whole. Man, I'm gonna have to bring it up because I don't fully remember. But oh, here we go. I remember. Human life, we have a higher survivability. We have higher life expectancy. And when I say that, I say big. Think 500 years. Think 1,000 years before. Think 200 years. Blah blah blah. 100 years, probably even, right? So when I say that, I'm not thinking like, oh, 5 years ago. No. I'm thinking big, baby, huge. We have a higher life expectancy, and one of the things that I notice is these rises in these, let's say, different diseases. Back then we had like infections, plagues and stuff like that. But now, because we're growing up, this is what AI said. There's studies. It said studies too. Because we're growing up in a sterile environment where there's less attacks on the outside to our bodies, we get these autoimmune diseases, right? And there's also the reason why that is because of chemicals, preservatives, manufacturing, industrialization, all of this stuff, compensate for world health or hunger, make mass produced food, economically driven things that we do that to compensate for providing food for the masses. And it has its consequences. So problem solution. Our solution creates problems. We create solutions to those problems. And those solutions create problems, which we create solutions to, right? So it's just a tree branch going in. But my question for the AI was, objectively, let's think bigger. And objectively, we have higher life expectancy. Pretty sure. I could be wrong, but pretty sure. And so, why mental health issues? Here's the thing. I think this is, and this is kind of like my point, or this is what I'm thinking here. Thinking out loud is, we used to live in a society where we might not live to 40, we might not live to 30. We're survival. We're nature, right? There's a lot of do nothing, right? There's a lot of simplicity. It's cut the tree, finish chopping the tree, make the firewood so that we can not die. Now it's, I don't have to do that. I can get a credit card. Just put that shit on a, forget cuss. Whatever, I don't care. Put that crap on a whatever. So the survival is different. And here's what I think. As a whole, because of our life expectancy, humanity is now compensating why we have depression, why we have anxiety, why we have all these mental issues, why we have these things, is because the old pressures, the old survival mechanisms that we can only get to 30, we can now make it to 90 years old. And so humanity is now compensating by trying to go inside. We need a bigger why. That's it. Everything summed up. We need a bigger why. We need a better why. We need a bigger why, and we need a better why. And a why is the why on the inside. We need the tools on the inside. Hey, life, I can now live to 90. Oh my God, what the heck am I gonna do for 90 years, right? Who am I, right? If for 30 years, I mean, if I live till 30, there's not a lot of like, oh crap, you're not gonna worry about like these like mundane stuff. I feel like you're just gonna be like, oh, I just need to do whatever I need to like do whatever I can to survive, right? Or yeah, it's kind of like a survival mechanism, right? Just think of it like a survival mechanism. And what are we at? 14 minutes already. Holy smokes. And I don't need to compensate for y'all's lack of attention span. That's what I do not need to compensate. But I can say what I want to say fast. who am I to assume that you have bad attention spans, you know? Anyways, I just had the realization that as a whole, and I could be wrong, but we have all these mental issues, we have all these autistic blah, 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 because of our need to not focus on just survival. I mean, let's just be super bare bones with it. Survival. We don't need to do what we used to do, you know? I'm not thinking that I might die and before I'm 30, you know? We think culturally, unconsciously, we all think that, okay, I'm probably gonna live, right? For the most part. We go through pain for sure. I mean, if you knew my story. But isn't that interesting? I mean, that's kind of like a real revelation here that I had, realization, right? And I feel like it's grounded in evidence. I feel like it's objectively pretty true, a truth. You could call it a truth. And so now the question is like, well, what do I do with that truth? It's interesting too, if you look at social media and stuff like that, I feel like there is a rise in these entrepreneur, like, oh, go out, son, 5 a.m., wake up at blah, 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 gut health, you know, no sugar, keto, diets, whole foods, nature, health, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know if that's just my pigeonhole of like because I see a lot of that, because I personally, I like that, you know. I think we need that. Less chemicals, less preservatives, less whatever. We need more holistic and natural, blah, blah, blah. But now I see why we do need that. Why we do need to go back, so to speak, and not throw that out with the bathwater, you know? And it's not overplayed. It's not overplayed. Humanity balances. Humanity always balances. If you see history, and I was looking at plagues and like depressions and like histories of all that stuff, is we balance, man. We balance. We balance. Circle, cycle. Yin yang, all this stuff. So it's really interesting. But now I think I might have hit a diamond here. I think I might have hit a jewel with this discovery. Because if what I'm saying is true, I can use this knowledge for me. I can thrive. I can find more peace, but also I can predict. And maybe that's what my brain's doing. Maybe I'm trying to avoid fear and survivability to find a deeper why. And that's something that's really interesting. That's something that's very interesting. That I am doing what I'm saying right now, actually. Literally right now. So, interesting. Yeah, it's just a person, you know. So yeah, that's it, I guess. We're compensating. We're going inward, right? Maybe. I don't know, maybe. I feel like we are. But who knows? Who knows, right? But I think that's what's happening. I think that's why we have a lot more inside issues than outside. I mean, it kind of makes sense. The problem is to give the contradiction or the, what is it called? Playing devil's advocate. I do that a lot. It's just not doing that a lot. What is that? It's funny. I'm not trying to do the thing, you know. I just did it to you. But it's only below the hips, so it's above the hips, right? I don't even know the stupid, dumb thing. Anyways, oh man. So I don't know. I mean, there's also like, yeah, is life actually survivable? Like that's what we like to think is like, well, I could die in a car accident, I could die, blah 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 blah. You know, is life expectancy actually better? You know, like that's like, it's hard to believe that. I think because of news and all that stuff. You know, but who knows? I like to think that I'm onto something here. So, anyways, well, thank you for listening. 20 minutes of your time. I think you got something out of it. I think it's thank you for listening, and I hope you did. So bless you in your day, and goodbye.